morning, Dopey. Your favorite podcast. Now a YouTube show.
Good morning, Dopey. Welcome to Good Morning, Dopey, a deep and yet shallow dive into the daily reflections. Here's the daily reflections. My name is Dave. I am a Knicks fan and an addict. And I mean, some people say an alcoholic, but I barely drank. So can I be an alcoholic if I never drank? No. Chris always said I was an alcoholic. Howard.
How could you be an alcoholic if you don't have a problem with alcohol?
It's about compulsion and obsession and stuff.
Like, if you would drink, you would be an alcoholic?
I don't know. I mean, when Chris would explain it, and in fact, I dislike semantical arguments. But Chris doesn't think, even though alcohol is the big word in alcoholism, he doesn't think it's really about the alcohol.
Got it. Well, that would go for anything, right? Any kind of addiction.
Yeah, but I personally think that the alcoholic is the addict and the addict is the alcoholic. I just had a biochemistry that did not get along with alcohol. My biochemistry also didn't get along with coke or crack, and I didn't particularly like meth.
I have the same problem.
All right. You don't need to gloat that you're not a drug addict on a drug addict show. Look at Howie. He's gloating that he doesn't have a drug addiction.
I can't rub it in?
You can.
Oh, okay.
So you're a drug addict. You have track marks. Recently, I went and they had to take blood, and it was thrilling. It's thrilling.
Oh my God! I need them to put me to sleep.
It's thrilling
to
for
get
me.
someone to take blood.
It's thrilling. And I have like big veins now because I do push-ups all the time, so it's thrilling.
You don't have to brag.
Okay, sorry. What day are we on?
The 19th.
Prayer. This one you can really relate to, Howie.
Of course.
Prayer. It works. Hold on. Before we read this. Since we've had so many guests, I want to read some comments from the listeners, from the watchers.
Make sure they're negative about me.
You want to look for negative Howie? There's a lot of negative Howie comments. Do you want them?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Do you know about them?
No.
Joe C says he's back in recovery. Thanks for the content, Dave. That's nice. Oh shit.
Now what?
He says, you're definitely in the blast area. Number one, New York. This is Frank Berg. Number one, New York City is a huge target. Number two, Groton, Connecticut is a submarine base. So yeah, that sucks. How about playing some live music on this channel? We miss your guitar playing and your songs. Come on, just one verse of Forever in Debt. Stay strong, Dopey Nation. Fucking toodles for Chris. That's something that Chris always would beg me for, is to play one verse of Forever in Debt. Maybe I'll do it.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I will. All right. Chris Mitchell says, be a good person. Don't expect anything in return. The universe or God's plan will find you. Chadwick Smith says, about the cursing, I say, fuck it. What's your take on the cursing?
You mean whether or not you should be cursing in videos?
No, just obviously I don't have a moralistic view about cursing, but I worry about like how many does it limit the potential audience if I curse?
I've heard that there might be something to that in the first so many minutes of a video.
Right.
So maybe there is, I don't know. But that's on you.
She says, hello, Dopey and strung out author, my fave, Aaron Carr, crying this whole time. I have been there currently, can't even ask for help now. Oh, Deborah, you can ask for help. Ask for help. Don't be afraid. Baked Not Fried says, whenever Aaron is on, it's an instant watch for me. Maria Gould says, Aaron is so... Oh, it's not Maria. It's Marla Gould. Sorry, Marla. Says, Erin is so brilliant. I love her. Whenever she's on the show, it's always great. People love Erin. That's nice. I should have read these while Erin was on the show. She would have loved that. Hannah says, I'm pro Muppets and pro Howie. What do you think about that?
I thought you said it was on negative.
Here, you want some negative reviews about Howie? How about you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, maybe there's nothing that negative. If Howie wants a negative comment from me, he should tell us his political beliefs. I guarantee we're on opposite ends of the spectrum, but please don't. I like
Is that a real
Howie.
comment?
and want to continue liking him. And Jim Henson did Ernie.
What? Hold on a second.
I didn't know he had anything to do with Sesame
What does that
Street.
mean? He or she, or they?
Omar Slim.
I don't know. Let's say they.
He's got a picture of a Rottweiler as his. I bet you his dog would eat Norman.
So why are we on opposite? How does it guarantee that we're on
He
opposite?
guarantees.
Huh.
Oh,
So it's obvious what.
yes, lefty.
Why
woke,
is that?
woke radical lefty.
Why am I woke?
Libertarian Republican righty. I mean, why do I think? Because I know you.
Oh.
So
Oh,
what do you
that's
want
true.
from me?
But I don't think I'm woke. I wouldn't say woke. First of all, woke is the worst word ever.
Yeah,
I mean, the word woke makes me sick.
do you like the word yoke or the word woke more?
Yoke in its traditional definition?
Well, yoke
egg
means
yolk?
two things, right?
Oh,
It means
I know egg yolk.
It means egg yolk, and it
Yeah.
also means
Woke?
a wooden cross piece that is fastened over the necks of two animals and attached to the plow. That's the yoke.
Okay.
Do you want more comments, or should we just get on, or should I
I
play
definitely
Forever
don't
in
think we
Debt?
should be talking about yoke anymore.
Or Forever in Debt?
Forever
Thank
in
you,
debt.
Dave. This is Misha Garnier. Says, thank you, Dave. I've been stuck after relapsing during the pandemic with 3 years sober. The wisdom of AA jargon has been echoing through my head, and the decision piece has been haunting me a little bit. I love what you're saying. It's like the idea of willingness. It just opens the door to invite something more powerful in. No cost to the buyer. I forgot how to ask for help. Maybe it's shame, maybe it's pride. Fuck it. Just trying to be part of something. Going on day 6 sober again today. Right on, Misha. You can do it. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And even if you're like using again, you're probably not watching this, but if you do, you can always just turn it on. Just start over. As long as you don't die, you can start over, which is very important. I mean, Howie might judge you. I would never judge you. He says, Annie says, I love your earnestness, Dave. Please don't dye my beard. And she wants the used hat. Remember we talked about the used Dopey hat?
Yeah.
That's
vaguely.
Nice.
Okay.
Annie, give me
She
your
want a cat?
Give me your email and I'll throw in a cat with it.
It sprays.
Shh. All right, let's do today. That's
Good.
a lot. That's a lot of comments.
319.
Did you have fun with that?
Yeah, there was nothing negative about me, but okay.
I saw a negative one. Should I keep looking?
All I want is to hear the negative comments.
I have a positive one.
All right, I'll leave it that too. Go ahead.
There's one that said I don't like Howie. Should I find it?
Yeah.
You want me to sit here and scrolling?
No.
All right, so let's stop. You're supposed to talk when I'm scrolling.
What am I going to talk about?
Something. All right.
Plans for taking over the show.
Prayer, it works. You say that's what she said.
That's what she said.
It has been well said that almost the only scoffers at prayer are the ones who never tried it enough. You know, I agree with that. Having grown up in an agnostic household, which I did, I felt somewhat foolish when I first tried praying. I felt there was a higher power working in my life. How else was I staying sober? I didn't feel that. But I certainly wasn't convinced he, she, or it wanted to hear my prayers. People who had what I wanted said prayer was an important part of practicing the program, so I persevered with a commitment to daily prayer. I was amazed to find myself becoming more serene and comfortable with my place in the world. In other words, life became easier and less of a struggle. I'm still not sure who or what listens to my prayers, but I'd never stop saying them for the simple reason that they work. I really relate to this one, except I didn't know that there was a higher power working in my life that made me stay sober. I thought that I was staying sober because I wasn't using drugs. I didn't think it had anything to do with a higher power. However, I did find that when someone said, you're not going to get better unless you do what we tell you to do, and the phrase, I think it's in the big book, it's in How It Works. It says, rarely have we seen someone thoroughly follow the path and not achieve the same results. and I needed results.
Mm-hmm.
And I just heard that over and over again. Take suggestions, take suggestions, take suggestions. And I was 41. I hadn't taken suggestions except like where I could get cheaper drugs or better drugs or whatever. I never took any good suggestions. So I wanted to take suggestions. And the thing is, I'm not trying to brag, just relax.
Sounds like you are.
I have 3 sponsors. I'm sorry, 3 sponsees,
Yeah,
right?
that's great.
2 of them one of them is a cop.
Yep.
One of them is a fentanyl dealer.
Yep.
And one of them is an ex-cop.
Oh, I thought you were saying one is a cartoon.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Why would I say that?
I don't like it's not a real person.
No.
One of them is a rock.
And I believe, and I'm not trying to brag, so just hang
It
out.
doesn't sound like it.
Does it sound like I'm bragging?
Yeah, it's a humble brag.
It's not a humble brag. Is that a humble brag?
Not really.
What is
Not when you just put it out there like that.
No, it's
All
not.
right, go ahead. Yeah, I agree.
The point is that prayer works. It's magic. It's like people talk about prayer being magical as like a kind of like a disrespect. This hat's not straight. Of prayer, like, oh, that's magical thinking, blah, blah, blah. I think it's the opposite. I think if there is magic, it's a lot like prayer, because when you actually pray, you get weird results that you don't expect, like it's magical.
Okay. Like you put an idea out there into the universe and something happens and there's no explanation.
I mean, maybe the
Maybe.
explanation is that you say it. Maybe it's like quantum.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
like I remember it's funny. I worked on, when I did The Last Jewish Waiter, it was at this company, and it turned out that the guy that they were having produce The Last Jewish Waiter in the company was a PA from Burley Bear that I knew from spring break at Lake Havasu, who was such a horrible drinker at Lake Havasu spring break that they kicked him out. Like they fired
But now
him.
he's a producer.
Not only is now he a producer, he's the creative director of a major production company, and he was, I think, the major producer behind Anthony Bourdain's show.
Oh, wow.
And then he came around to do The Last Jewish Waiter. He sucked. He made a horrible sizzle reel. It went terribly. But him and his wife were just... he also wanted to beat me up, I think, in the end, because I insulted his wife. So I apologize to
It
you.
must have been a pleasure to work with.
No, it's just, it all went badly. But they believed in
Don't say.
quantum, which, do you know what quantum is?
Like quantum physics?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't understood.
Tell me about it. What is it?
I don't know. I have a
According
very
to these
preliminary
guys,
understanding,
according to these two,
Go ahead.
that if you want something, you
Yeah.
put it out in the universe,
Yeah.
and then you can get it.
I mean, I think the idea that you can manifest your own destiny,
Right.
I guess you would say, I mean, that adds up somewhat. I think that once you set your mind to something and you put it out there and you say it, now part of you feels like, okay, I've got to do it. I told people I'm going to do this idea. Now I should take a risk. So, yeah, maybe part of it is the universe responding, something you can't explain. And part of it, and maybe a lot of it, is saying, I'm going to be sober. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to start this business. I'm going to go back to school, whatever it is. And then you take the first step. And then you take the second step and the third step. So part of it is you, and part of it is the universe going,
Well,
right
I don't
place,
think.
right time.
I mean, just to be totally
Uh-oh.
honest about it, like, I think when I got sober, I didn't ever say, I'm going to get sober now. Like, I didn't say that. I think I said, I'm going to try to get sober. I hope I can get sober.
Okay.
I never even like now that I'm sober, it kind of happened by some sort of like, I don't want to say it happened by magic, but I never said, I'm going to get sober. I think I said, I hope I can get sober.
Yeah, but you took the first step, which
Wow.
made it a little easier to take the next step.
And I
so
did,
on and so
and I
forth.
did
Yeah.
what was suggested, and I learned how to do it, and I pass it along. But now I find that prayer has been a huge piece of it, and I suggest prayer to my sponsees, and I can't really quantify it except that it works.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's also one of those things where there's no proof that it works and there's no proof that it doesn't work, so you might as well
You
do
might
it.
as well do it.
Right.
It's like believing in God just in case he's actually out there and he might smite you down if you don't
Right.
believe in him.
And also, it feels good. I mean, if
That's
you're-
why when I'm about to die, I'm going to accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior just in case.
just in case.
Because you go to heaven if Jesus is in charge and you accept him as your Lord and Savior. And the Jews don't care. Jews let everybody in. But the
Right.
Christians will not let you into heaven unless you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior.
But if you're Jewish, then why is that a factor?
You
just to cover your bases.
cover your bases. If there's a heaven
Right.
and Jesus is in control, you might as well, when you're dying, maybe one of the last things you think is, yes, Jesus is my Lord and Savior.
Right.
Amen.
You know where the phrase "cover your bases" come from?
I'm assuming baseball, but yes, what?
No, it's not from baseball.
No?
It's
What
from
is it?
bass players. Put your bass inside the case because they was fall and break. Cover your bases.
That is not where it comes. Is that you just make that up?
I
Is
did,
that a
but
bit?
I think it
I think
sounds
that might be
pretty
the best bit you've ever made up.
You're welcome.
All right, stay strong, Dopey Nation. Fucking
Yeah.
toodles for Chris.
Yes.
Dopey, I'm face down on the floor. Dopey, please sir, can I have some more? Dopey, sitting